I done did a lot. You ain't did shit at all. Whipping up a pop, show you how to get it off. I don't merely rock. I just get the brick across. Take you to the block. My shorties know I've been a boss.
Chicago, I am your host for the night. This is Queenie Greene, and I have T.O. Hardman with me. T.O., tell them what your title is. You got so many of them.
I'm T.O. Hardman, President of Violence Interrupters Incorporated. I'm also an adjunct professor in the field of criminology, criminal justice, restorative justice, corrections, and juvenile justice, and understanding the history of gangs in Chicago. And I'm also a former candidate for governor here in the state of Illinois and a bona fide community.
Powered by ECCSC. Your host Tyrone Muhammad is being the community servant that he is, and he is out tonight. But myself and T.O., we have the frontline issues that we're going to talk about for you tonight. And you are tuned in iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium, Pop Radio Worldwide. This is the Frontline Show. All right, so tonight we're talking about issues that are just plaguing Chicago, issues that need to be spoken about. So, T.O., you talked with me earlier. We talked about, we talked about just what's going on with Trump, what's going on in Chicago. I definitely want to talk about, did you get a chance to check out the news to find out that the budget proposal was approved
for the city of Chicago.
For the city of Chicago, which means taxes will be going up once again.
Properties for homes in the city, taxes going up.
Taxes.
Well, you knew that was coming. You know, when I ran for governor, I spoke about the tax issue on a regular basis because we found out through a close examination of the Cook County Assessor's Office, they were overtaxing people on the south and west side and the east side and the south suburbs, but they were not overtaxing people in Skokie and Evanston.
Yes.
So that's proven. So once again, poor people end up being taxed out, okay? And definitely in Chicago. It doesn't make any sense. It's not right. So once again, taxes go up. The taxes on gas went up double. And then you got the city sticker, the prices went up along with the license plate sticker. All those prices have gone up. And once again, poor people and working class people feel the brunt of all these inflated prices.
Well, right now, also, this has been something that is very, very big. Ride share. The ride share, they've been battling about this for, pretty much the whole week. Ride share taxes is going up only in our communities, only in the minority communities, but downtown, Andersonville, your higher class communities, those ride share rides, they won't be taxed. So it's going up in the poor neighborhoods. And what we all want to know is, why do we keep seeing this? They claim there's no money. Of course, right. If you hear any politician, y'all know I'm not Tyrone, so I'm not going to call them names. Right. Not tonight. But, every politician that no matter who gets in office, we see this, that it's always us. Everything with us. Clothing for us. Our neighborhoods, right? Everything goes up for our neighborhood. Why is that? We can't pay the bills that we have now.
Well, Tyrone Muhammad is my comrade, and this is the Frontline Show, and we have to really speak up on these issues all the way. I'm glad to be here sitting in for Brother Tyrone Muhammad. He's one of the only brothers I would sit in for. You hear me?
Definitely.
So over taxation is just it's a way of life. It's everyday life in the ghetto and living just enough for the city. Stevie Wonder had that record, living just enough for the city, and they steady taxing working class and poor people, and somebody needs to speak out against this here type of behavior and these policies. A lot of elected officials continue to go down the same road all the time. This is what they always do. They promise you things on one end, and they don't deliver on the other end. And that's what you see happening once again here in Chicago. As a matter of fact, over 180,000 African-American people have moved out of Chicago over the last 15 years because of overtaxation, because of the gun violence epidemic, and because of a whole lot of other issues out there. The poor educational system and everything. So once again, poor people are being taken advantage of, Queenie.
That I had a conversation a little earlier this week, and that actually saddens me because, I'm am that outlaw renegade. I am going to plant my feet, and you're gonna have to bulldoze, though. You're gonna have to bulldoze this place to get me out of here if I feel what I'm standing on is what I'm standing on. And one thing that I'm not happy about is that, like you said, all the minorities that's left this city. This is a great city. This is my home, and you know. They're shooting everywhere. They're killing everywhere. The things that we see in the news, it's happening everywhere. But it gets publicized bigger here because there's a bigger picture. They want this city. And I would have loved to see more of my people stand strong. Keep your properties. Don't run from your properties. Keep your properties. Combine with each other. Collaborate with each other. Better the communities. They say everybody's getting shot on their block. So then that means you need to come off of your porch and take care of your block. Don't run from your block. Take care of your block, because at some point in time, what are we going to have if we all leave Chicago, if we all become bamboozled to leave Chicago? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to say it, I believe our people are being bamboozled to leave this city because they want this city. Now, I don't know if people remember, but let me take you back a few years ago. They wanted the Olympics here. Now, let's just go with me. Everybody knows I always talk about my conspiracy theories. But they wanted the Olympics here. Chicago was denied to have the Olympics here because people around the world are scared, because Chicago is being publicized that you can't leave out your door without being shot. Well, guess what? This is show number 4 or 5, and I ain't been shot yet. I leave out my door every day. I ain't been shot yet. By God's grace, all my children are alive. But that's because at home, I teach my children means of ways to keep them alive. Keep yourself out of bullish things that will cause you to put yourself in a position, because yes, we know it's stray bullets and stray everything out there, but at the same time you can put yourself in a position to be a statistic. And so I try my hardest to teach my children to not become a statistic. And I think if we all did that instead of running away and being bamboozled to run away. Now I'm going back to my theory. The Olympics, they wanted the Olympics here, but Chicago was denied the Olympics because it's too bad. People around the world are scared to come here. They can't come. They don't want to come because they're scared. They think they're going to get shot. So what I feel that my city did, my city that I technically have no control over, right? My city said, okay, the Olympics brings millions, if not billions of dollars everywhere it goes. And we all know that everything about this country is a business. Our bodies, they could care less about our bodies. This is a business.
It's all about money, capitalism. All right?
And so how about, and it looks like it to me that they say, okay, we got to do something to get these niggas out of here. To get them, because we want the Olympics here, because the niggas that live here are not bringing the millions and the billions that the Olympics is going to bring.
Well, the reality, Sister Queenie, I'm glad you bring this up, because it was a major discussion some years ago when the Olympics was on the table. But because of the continued gun violence, a lot of people are just scared of Chicago. I was born and raised on the south and west side of Chicago. The Henry Horner Projects and the Avalon Park community, they call it Lion City on the south side. Yes. The reality is this here. I've been kind of desensitized when it comes down to the violence, because I've been in the city all my life, and I've been through a few things, like everybody else. But I don't look right. I don't look at it no different.
They got phones. Right. They got cell phones now. That's the only difference.
That's the only difference. They're publicizing everything. But at the same time, African American people have been under attack in this city. Sincerely, what I'm talking about, the failed war on drugs, the illegal gun trade, you're talking about the welfare system, the list goes on and on. We have been under attack for way too long. There were times when even sexually transmitted diseases were at an all-time high in Black Chicago, especially the Austin community on the far west side of Chicago, the West Garfield community, Inglewood. So once again, every year it's the same story. Gun violence is, so far this year, there have been close to 500 homicides this year so far, and we still have the month of December to go. All right, last year there were 454 homicides in Chicago. A lot of work has got to be done on the front end to stop people from killing in the first place. Some people say it's a job issue. Jobs have, they play a role, but at the same time, we have to find a way to unify these young brothers beyond jobs, because everybody may not get a job. Does it mean you got to kill somebody because you're not working? That doesn't mean you have
It's
to do that.
not just a job
That's
issue.
right.
It's a
more,
trailer.
right.
Let's just keep it real. It's an 18-wheeler issue. It's a trailer issue because some of those have been found in Chicago in parking lots, in alleys, full of guns, and ammunition.
Yes.
Now let's just be real.
Just be on the front line.
I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not. We have this talk all the time. I'm not the color of this table. So they call me black, but I don't look like this table. I'm brown. My Latino family, y'all brown too. You might be a little yellow, but you're brown to me. We all brown people, other than what else is out there. And we don't have boats. We don't have planes. We don't own the stuff. So if you think that is an African American with some melanin that's been dropped the 18-wheeler, we ain't got no damn 18-wheelers. If you think that it's us that dropped the 18-wheeler on 87th Street or on 79th Street full of guns and ammunition, you are crazy.
Well, you have to go back to the facts, Sister Queenie. What
it's being put here.
Without a doubt, it's a diabolical plot to poison Black America, and it's been proven through history. The Black Panther Party organized for self-defense. It was proven in the movie and in textbooks how the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, some people call it the Cocaine Importation Agency, how they actually put cocaine in the black communities under the auspices that they were fighting the Nicaraguan War. That was back when Rick Ross, Freeway Ricky Ross, was dealing all the drugs in LA, and then everything just shuffled all across the United States. The Black Panther tried to stand up against it. I'm talking about pure cocaine had already been in the community, but crack cocaine really devastated the future generations and a lot of people. Crack cocaine wiped a lot of people out.
But what happens in just about everything we see, just like I'm talking about my high school that I went to, and everything we see, it is not a problem for America unless they start losing some of theirs. So you are very right. They brought that in to demolish the Black Panther movement. They brought that in to completely demolish the organization that African American folks was starting to get to. We was waking our people up, and they brought that in, and it became a problem. It wasn't a problem when it was taking out our community. It became a problem when it started reaching the suburbs.
It became a serious problem.
That's when it started reaching.
It spread throughout.
And that's when it becomes an epidemic. And it's now we want to treat it. Now we want to fix it because they start losing some of theirs. Just like, shout out to all the people that are on my live. A lot of the people that are on my live went to high school with me. A lot of my friends they went to high school with me. And not to take away what happened in Sin High School this past couple weeks, but when I went to Sin, oh honey, it was a fight on every other week by room 219. It was by my locker. There was guns brought in on a regular basis. That fourth floor, it was going down. It was raping, slapping, fighting, killing. It was all types of stuff going on. But last week, a child brought a gun, a rifle or a BB gun or something like that to school, and my high school made the news all week, and I was like, so we just chop liver?
Okay.
But it wasn't now this, because at that time between 94 and 99, it was predominantly us in that school. Now that it's not, now they get broadcasted for a week that, now it's a problem. A gun was brought to school. What about our lives was in danger too? But it didn't matter because it didn't hit the suburbs. It didn't hit their children.
So
now
they
it's
bring it up
their
when it hit the suburbs, because brothers like myself and Tyrone, Muhammad, Sister Queenie, and a lot of other brothers and sisters, when we speak like this, some people try to box us in a category and say that we're stubborn, we're rebellious and radical and militant. That's not the case. We are intellectual thought leaders. People need to understand this. We are intellectual thought leaders. We do our research. For example, Sister Queenie, just to take a historical journey for just a second here.
Let's do it.
That's why we have to call people out. After slavery, then you had the Jim Crow laws, discrimination and all that. Then you had the civil rights era. Then you had the Black Power era, right? The war on drugs era came in the 80s, and the cocaine dealing and all that stuff. And the leaders in America, sooner or later, they have to admit the fact that they poisoned Black America with cocaine and heroin. that needs to be addressed, and therefore an apology is needed and an admission of the fact that that's what happened under J. Edgar Hoover, okay, because COINTELPRO, when Black Panther people began to speak up, and other leaders as well, you had women leaders out there, Angela Davis,
yes.
a lot of good females that stood up and spoke truth to power. Tupac's mother stood up and spoke
yes.
truth to power. The brothers and sisters in Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York City, all through Chicago. The bottom line is this here, young lady, we've been under attack. And that's why we're so divided right now. It's hard for us to come back together because who can actually go through all these type of attacks and still be as one? It's just not easy. It's like going in the ring with Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and George Foreman at one time, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. trying to fight all four of them, and you're going to get knocked out. And now we're getting knocked out in the community to a degree.
All right, and on that note, we're going to take a little music break. Make sure you come back with us. You do not want to miss this show because we got some more time and we got some more issues to talk about. This is Pop Radio Worldwide, Spotify Premium, iHeartRadio. Yo, Pop, bring us in.
My shorties know I've been a boss, Chemo, solid, hard body. In that jam, told on nobody. God damn, that war, we bout it. Dinero, we get it.
All right, you are back, and this is the Frontline Radio Show. Tonight, Mr. Tyrone is being the community servant that he is. Y'all know how Tyrone doing. We are holding it down. So I have in here the community leader. I mean, them titles
No, the title's okay, but at the same time, just T.O.
But
Hardy.
just T.O. Hardy, you know who this man is.
That's
Very
the bottom
powerful.
line. Yes.
Very powerful. And we're hosting tonight's show, and we are here on a regular basis every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Make sure you tune in and check out these frontline topics and these frontline issues that everybody might not talk about, but we are definitely going to touch them. So when we left off the break, we talked a bit, and you brought up something that definitely needs some time on today's show.
Yeah, we must.
Human trafficking.
Yes.
Human trafficking, sex trafficking. It is a problem.
Well, the thing
that's an epidemic.
There's been many stories, multiple stories coming out of Chicago recently where women have been abducted, people trying to snatch women in vans, and I don't want to panic everybody. We must pay attention to it though. The reality, if a woman is out there, always make sure you're on your cell phone. If you have somebody to walk you to your car, make sure your son or your guy walk you to your car. Gas stations, if you see vans just sitting around, pay attention. That's what I'm talking about. Do not walk around with your cell phone looking down all the time. Pay attention to your surroundings, because it is not right to take a woman and hold her captive against her will, period, all right? And the black man and all people, it's not just white men, Hispanic men, Asian men. We must all stand up and watch these women out here, no matter where you are, because human trafficking can take place with any race of people, all right? Now, there's also some information out there that 76,000 African-American women are missing in America right now. And in Chicago, since 2001, there have been about 75 women that have been mysteriously strangled to death. There appears to be a pattern out there. So I'm asking all men to stay on alert. I'm asking the young brothers out there on the streets to watch the women as well. When you see women walking by themselves, watch them women until they get where they need to go. And last but not least, we just had a young lady that was murdered the other day at UIC.
Yes.
She was raped. She was raped and strangled to death and all that stuff. And the guy was out on parole. I mean, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, don't get me wrong, but that's an example why we have to watch the women out here. It doesn't matter what their race may be. Let me just be real with everybody. If you see a woman, she's struggling, intervene. That's what I'm saying. Intervene.
Definitely.
We need some immediate type of attention on it, or immediate type of justice, because the women need to be protected, Queenie. That's it.
And speaking as a woman, I don't care what name you decide that you want to call me. I could care less what animal, what garden tool, what name you decide to call me. You cannot take away that we bring life on this earth. We are the mothers of this earth. So fellas, have whatever you feel about us, whatever you want to say about us, come away from it and understand, regardless of what I do with my body, what she do with her body, what she do with her body, a woman brought you in this world. So you have to respect that, and we need you. Ladies, and I said this before, ladies, you don't need a man. Yes, the hell you do. T.O., I need you to walk me to my car.
That's right.
Yes, we do. We need you guys to protect us. Mm-hmm. And we need you guys to love us for what we are and who we are in this world. And I can't stress that enough. We bear life. You can't bring no baby through that thing. You got to be very painful. So protect me, because I bring your life into this world. And you talked about the vans, but for my children, you watch out for anything, right?
Vans, cars,
anything, right? Anything with 4 wheels that you can get picked up and put in, you better watch out for.
There's a story that comes off the southwest side of Chicago where a young, about a 9 or 10-year-old, some people drove by in a car.
Yeah.
And they tried to ask him, did he need a ride? He tried to snatch him. He got away. Then they came back again. That's how bold they are. So you have cowards out here that continue to commit these type of crimes. And therefore we need a vanguard in the community. So you know what? Keep in mind, situations like this here may just unify the brothers out there. You never know. It just might unify us to really take matters to another level. We got to be strong.
Yes.
Tyrone Muhammad is a leading example how he stepped up for women at a nail shop before.
Yes.
So we need to really take a look at it and strategize.
Yes.
And not just go out there emotionally. We have to organize, strategize, and make it where it makes sense, in other words.
Yes.
So the reason I'm glad we bring up human trafficking, because for the all these women out here that have been crying for many, many years. I'm talking about women that have struggled for the last 100, 200 years on the planet Earth, because it wasn't until the 1950s that women didn't get any kind of rights. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So women have struggled a whole lot out here in the universe. So we must speak up, and I'm glad. See, God moves in mysterious ways, and it was meant for us to talk about this issue tonight because somebody needs to hear this message.
Can you imagine
somebody?
Me. Now, as you said, women. There was a point that we had no rights. So can you imagine what the women and fellas, it's not a man bashing thing, but what y'all need to understand is we as African American, brown, black, Latino, whatever, we are considered the minority. We have it hard because at a point we didn't have rights. We couldn't, you bet not say anything. Right. The man it was okay for the man to put his hands on you, things like that. So we are trying to find a place to have our voices and still be the women that we are. We definitely need you guys. And I don't care what block you come from. I don't care if you from 75th and you from 79th. And if I'm getting jumped on 71st, both y'all better come and help me. Y'all better, I could care less about y'all issues, but I need you from each block to come and take care of me. And on that note, I definitely think that it's going to take us to understand that we need to come to a realization and stop being so mad at each other. I broke it down in a way for my children, just for them to kind of understand why I be going off in the house. And I want to take some time and try to break this down because it may elevate some people. Understand, when you're talking about how black folks treat each other and we so this and we so that against each other and we so mad and yes, we were bred that way. And I'm sorry, if you come from a whooping family, now we're understanding that that's not always the case. But for my young adults, because right now I think the reason why our young adults are being snatched up, the reason why they're being, because there is the connection with the parents and the connection with the elders have been taken away for social media. I am sorry that you are upset with me, but do understand, I am only doing what I learned from my mother. She's doing what she learned from her mother. She's doing from what she learned from her mother. And her mother is only doing what she know that the white man did to her in order, if she didn't pick that cotton right, he lashed up, he whooped her butt. And what she did do is she went back to that field and picked that cotton right.
She went back out
so
and got it right.
When the slaves came away from the slave masters and we went into the world, blind people with no religion, no intelligence, and all we knew is what we came from. So black people, stop being so mad at each other, because guess what? You were bred the same way I was bred. I'm not hostile when I look at you. I'm just hostile. Hell, we mad. Yes, we mad. My mama, my daddy was slaves. My ancestors were slaves. So yes, we are mad at each other. And the way I break things down for my children, I break it down in a way a child can understand it. And when I said it this way, they were like, dang, Ma, I get it. So I'm going to tell y'all like this. For everybody whose mama cooks spaghetti in the kitchen, the way you cook spaghetti now, I bet you it's just about the way you saw your mama doing, the way your mama taught you. Now, the difference in when you got a little older and you got on your own, you might have found some new little ways, you might have found some new seasonings, and you start changing things up a little bit. But the root of how you make your spaghetti, I promise you, is how your mama or your daddy made it. So that means if we came from a people that slaved us, when we got away from them, just like when you leave your mama's house, all we knew was the spaghetti that we was being taught to make. And the spaghetti that we was being taught to make was whoop that ass and they gonna do right.
Well, let me say this to you. This sister's really breaking down some truth here. That's very important what you're talking about. I definitely concur with you, but I'll say this much to everybody in the universe. This may not be the most popular statement, but it's true the way I look at it. See, if a person is a racist, and I know you're a racist, I don't like the fact that you are a racist, but I'm okay as long as I know. That's what I'm saying. As long as I know, I have more respect for somebody that's straight up, right? Somebody that's straight up with me than pretending around me, tap dancing, playing games. Just let me know, and I'm okay with that. You know, I had a meeting with some racist people before, and they were straight up with me, and we left, and we had respect for one another. That's just the way life should be. But nowadays, you got a lot of people that laugh in your face, the backstabbers. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. You hear me? That's the OJ's at it, regular backstabbers, and that's what we're dealing with because we still, like you just broke the knowledge down. Okay, you broke it down. But there's just, see, the reason, in my opinion, that everything takes place in Black Chicago that is wrong as far as the killings, the drugs selling, and everything else that's going on, all the ills of society, because people feel we don't care about each other, so people feel they can come and do whatever they want to do in Black Chicago, sincerely. And it happens sometimes in the Latino community too, but right now, 85% of all murders in Chicago occur in Black Chicago, all right? 85% of the murders occur in the Black community. That's the reason why I speak this way. We must work harder to unify people. And like you said, see, the thing is, you're right. Whatever you were taught when you were growing up, that's who you become, until you can kind of learn other types of knowledge, all right? So it doesn't happen for everybody. So this is a real good conversation. It's a much needed conversation, but the Black community needs to be rescued right now, and the Black man has got to become a silverback gorilla.
And nobody's going to do it.
A silverback gorilla, you hear me? And support the women and support everybody across the board.
Nobody's going to do it but us.
Nobody's going to do it but us. That's it.
You know, and so I made a promise to my fellow entrepreneur circle that this is something that I will speak about, because this is, once again, those issues that we deal with in our community. And, you know, I'm going to say it. We are still mentally enslaved, and we are still living the field nigga and house nigga mentality. And that when I say that, I'm going to break that down for you, because I did promise. So I'm 38. And I know a lot of entrepreneur women, black, of course, black, because that's what I cater to, and that's where my heart is. But my age group of entrepreneurs that we go-getters, we are out here, we're doing our thing, and we're trying to get to those points. What conversations that we've been having a lot, and I promise that I speak on it, when it comes to the older community of what they're doing, we get looked down on a lot. I know, you know, there's a lot of older women out there that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. They have the exact same skills, and they've been doing this for 20 and 30 and 40 years. And it becomes almost, when they see us young women or young men now coming into their space, we sometimes get what the millennials is calling, we getting messed on, you know. And what I see a lot of it, and I'm going to talk about it, I see it with myself. Of course, I'm not going to name any names. If you feel like I'm talking about you, I probably am. You know, males too. We get looked down on. There's some older women out there that I would love to collaborate with, that they probably don't even know it, that I look up to these women, because if you can tell me that you've been doing this for 25, 30, 40 years, and I've only been doing it for a matter of under 10, I can learn from you. So what I want to say, and this is something that I promise that I talk about, I would like to see the older community entrepreneurs and business people, stop looking down on me like I'm some type of little pissy tail little heifer. Stop looking down on the young men like that's just some little young little Negro. Stop looking down on us poors, because you will be surprised. I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm trying to make a better life for my children.
That's right.
So if I post, if I have 10 events in this week and I post them up, I'm not trying to say that I'm doing more than you,
well,
or I know more people, I know better people than you. I'm just doing me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like Bobby Brown said, it's my prerogative.
Too.
That's your prerogative. Don't worry about it.
You
I can do
what
I need to do.
I see it and I feel it inside. I internally feel it that these people are competing with the male suit. We're competing against each other. Everybody wants to, I don't know if I can say it on the radio, can I say it?
You want to censor it on this show?
That everybody wants to shit on each other. And that bothers me, because you got the older people looking down on us. They don't want to let us in. Sisters. And I'm just going to put it out there for every entrepreneur sister that I know that is older than me. You might not even know it. Maybe, I don't know, if you think it's the way I carry myself. I like clothes. My mama did that to me. I like to dress. I ain't trying to show you up. I look up to you ladies. And I would love for somebody to pull me and say, Queenie, I see what you doing, little girl. Come on over here, because I've been doing it for 30. You've been doing it for less than 10. I've been doing it for 30. Come here. Because you know what? I've seen your lives. I've seen your radio show. I've listened to you. And this is some things that I think could help you out. Or you know what? I see where you're going. This is some people that I know. Let me take you over here with me and let me introduce you to some of these people that's going to elevate you. Instead of competing, let's stop shitting on each other. Let's stop competing with each other. Pull for me. Mentor me. I want to be mentored.
Yeah, so we're about to take another radio break, and then we'll be right back, everybody. Spotify, Radio, iHeartRadio, and Pop Radio Worldwide. We're here with Sister Queenie. Tyrone Muhammad could not be here today, but this is the front line. You're not going to hear nobody talk about this like we're talking about them here today. I'm glad to be here with Sister
Winters they be hot, summers they be cold. Had to sauce it up a lot. Since niggas think I'm on realest story ever told. Bricks on the stove, got them elbows, very well known. They don't know the half, breaking down halves, working on my
All right, we are back, and this is Frontline Radio Show. I am your host for the day, Queenie Greene, and I have T.O. Hardiman here with me, and we're talking about the frontline issues. Want to take some time out to thank our sponsors. That is 7 Star. 7 Star. If you did not check out the interview with Dimitri Roberts and 7 Star, you definitely need to check that app out, because that is an app that is bridging the gap between policing and the communities. Make sure you check out. That is 7star.com. You will see the pop-up. It'll be 7star.com, but you can actually kick that link, www.svnstar. Check them out, download that app. It's a free app, and we want to thank our sponsors. Also, we want to thank Pop Radio Worldwide for having us on. This show is powered by ECCSC. Mr. Tyrone Muhammad will be back with us next week, and we'll have some more of those issues for you.
Yeah, I like Brother Tyrone Muhammad. I'm not just saying this because I'm co-hosting the show in his place right here, but Tyrone reminds me of this old school record, I Feel Like Busting Loose. And that's what Tyrone does. He busts loose here on the front line. It's important for us to have these discussions. Bottom line, because because a lot of people are scared to speak truth to power. People are scared to present these concepts, new policies out here, and a lot of people are concerned about how people are going to view them. That's why I said early on, we are intellectual, thought leaders out here. I've traveled the world. I've traveled to 40 states in the United States, Sister Queenie. I've traveled to Africa. I've been to the UK. God is in the blessing business. We're not just like stuck in one corner of the world. We have to see the entire world and do research on the entire world so we know what we're talking about. That's what it's all about, having your facts in place and presenting the facts. Then most people cannot really criticize because they cannot poke holes in the facts. Yes. I can see if we were just on it ranting and raving, emotional and stuff like that. Human trafficking is real. Police brutality is real. They have a movie coming out now called Queen and Slim, something like that. Queen and Slim. That's about possibly the police brutality kind of stuff as well. So we're talking about real issues out here.
Slim,
and that's Slim and Queen, right?
No, it's Queen
and Slim. That's right, Queenie. I got you. So I'm just speaking out. I did go watch the movie. I did go see the movie some time ago, dealing with a lot of these different issues about Ferguson, Missouri, and everything that's going on out here. So I wish everybody the best. in the world, but my heart really goes out, Sister Queenie, to the women out there that are being held right now against their will.
Yes.
And somebody, they want to go home, but they cannot go home. We have to send prayers out because we cannot be everywhere all the time.
Yes.
So I'm hoping God will send some divine intercessors out there on behalf of the women. Just like the young girls in Cleveland that had been abducted and being held against their will for almost 10 or more years.
Yes.
What happened, one of the girls was able to break through the door, and the brother in Cleveland was able to rescue her and get her out of that situation. And them young ladies have turned their lives around. But just think about the psychological scars
Yes.
that them
Yes.
young women have in their minds. So anytime you can help a woman overcome, that's a good thing, because like you said early on, none of us would be here if it were not for a woman. And the women, without women, we have nothing, zero, nothing. So we must speak up like this. That's the reason why I'm going hard today on the front line about this issue of human trafficking and the sex trade, all that kind of stuff. It is really crazy. Stand up, protect the women out here.
You know, and just, you know, once again, touching the issue at hand overall, we need to love each other more. We need to care. We need to GAF. Y'all know what that means. We need to GAF more about each other, because we have lived a long time, a lot of years this way. And one thing about, I don't care what goes on in the world, change has to come. And change comes with everything. I don't care how long you wear a pair of socks. At some point, you're going to have to change them socks. Change comes. And it's a time, we've lived divided just for too long, too long. And we need to understand, black folks, we ain't no different from each other. We all want the same thing. We want to be treated better, and we want to be accepted better, and we have to do that first with each other before we can consider someone else to do that for us. Because at the end of the day, I've rode the train before, I've ride the buses before. I'm gonna say it, black folks, the things that I see when I'm outside, we actually prove their point of what we are and who we are when we acting a damn fool out there and we're not coming together for each other. We prove their point. We have to start proving them wrong, right?
Well, you know, the black community we see the bad rap because of all the things that are taking place in black Chicago and black United States. Baltimore is tough. St. Louis is leading the nation in homicides
Detroit
right now. Detroit is tough. Philadelphia is tough. Grand Rapids, Michigan is tough. Memphis, Tennessee is tough. You know, just the list goes on and on. So the reality is that we have to lead by example. And what you were talking about, what happened in the household back when people were growing up, that's what you know. Until you learn different techniques and different strategies on how to deal in life, you may find yourself caught up, one time or another. So I just want to say this to everybody out there in the world. It's very important that people listen to other people sometimes, especially if they have a solid point of view. And I said this when we took a radio break. There was when you talk about the older population generation versus a younger generation, a comedian said he was at a bookstore reading a book, and an old guy about 85 years old stopped and said, "Look here, man, what you doing reading that book? If master found out you reading that book, you're going to be in a heap of trouble." And we hadn't used that word heap of trouble, I'm talking about in almost a century, right? He said the old guy was stuck in time. He's like, you're going to be in a heap of trouble if the master see you reading the book. We need to educate ourselves sincerely. Malcolm X predicted everything that's happening right today. Dr. King predicted everything that's happening today. One of our fallen heroes, Huey P. Newton, one of the founders of the Black Panther Party for self-defense, one of the most solid brothers that ever lived in the United States. Bobby Seals is still around now. People don't even understand sometimes the magnitude and the significance of the Black Panther Party for self-defense. These brothers were standing up at a time when it was not popular at all.
Yes.
You think police brutality and excessive force nowadays is really bad? Think about it back when they had to stand up. Brothers were being killed almost every other day. So them brothers stood up and they knew their laws, Sister Queen. They knew their laws. They did everything in their power to represent their people for real. That's the reason why they changed the gun laws in the state of California. Because the Black Panthers stood up, they changed the gun laws sincerely because they didn't want to have brothers that were armed. Okay, and so the reality of it is right here, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother T.O. Hardeman. I'm doing my best to be a servant of the people. because you must be humble out here. Sometimes when we talk this way, people think we're not humble. I'm very humble. I listen to people, and I told Queenie and Tyrone this last week. Some people like it, some people may not like it. Then I turn it over to you. The woman is the boss. Let me just say this. Let me tell you what I mean, though. If a woman makes you feel good, she takes care of the business for you, that gives her some power to be a boss to a degree with you. I'm not saying the woman's going to make all the decisions a man should make, but most women know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to try to explain it. Most women know what I'm talking about. The woman is in your corner. She's like your right arm. She's part of your ribs. That makes her equal to you.
We should compliment
That's what I'm talking about. Compliment one another. That's the point I'm trying to make. All right?
We should definitely compliment one another. I just want to take some time. On that note, want to take some time to give a big shout out to our normal host, Tyrone Muhammad. And I tell Tyrone this all the time. Just on the behalf of other black women, brother, we love you because we have been dealing with these issues for a long time, and we haven't really seen. Now we had our Malcolms, we had our Dr. Kings, and Nat Turners, and Al Sharpton, But we had our people that stood up for us, and they're no longer here. And I know for myself, I can think in my head, and shout out, of course, we definitely have to give a big up to the skies to Mr. Harold Washington. We had leaders that were for us, but since they died off, there are not many more. And, I don't know when I've seen someone stand up and taking it and risk his freedom and stand up for not just his woman, not his mother, not his sister. Because men will go and tear up the block for their mama, for their sister. But he did that on the behalf of all women. He did that on behalf of black women being ridiculed. How dare you? If I don't like the way you did my nails, how dare you put your hands on me and kick me out how dare y'all Oriental folks jump on me and put me out your nail shop because I have a problem? I'm giving you my money, and so I appreciate, and I'm not even a woman that I don't wear fake nails anymore. I'm glad I don't wear them anymore, but actually I do. I'm a nail tech. I went to cosmetology school, but I just woke up and I know it's damaging. But that to be said, we appreciate Tyrone. So Tyrone, if you watching, we appreciate you on the behalf of black women. We appreciate you because you stood up for us. And right now, we don't have a lot of people standing up for us. They don't know, either they don't know how to stand up for us or they're too scared to stand up for us. So on that man's courage, we are here now. Because of that man's courage, I'm sitting here in his chair because of his courage. That will be my brother until I leave here because he stood up for us. And I think, fellas, and I understand everybody might not be able to get bonded out as fast as Mr. Muhammad got bonded out. But, if you can, in your own way, stand up for us. I'm not saying everybody risk your freedom. We know everybody can't do that. You got kids, you got jobs, you got bills. But in your way, without damaging your world, stand up for us. It's okay. Women, now I got to get on my ladies. Women, I need you to also stand up for your black man. I was on my way taping my 4th episode of my web series that's dropping. And I was so torn. And I have a web series dropping called Bricks and Mortars, dropping January 1st, in January, dropping at the beginning of the year, where I showcase black-owned businesses. We're going to have some sneak peeks out for you. It's totally dropped solely only YouTube channel. Only on my YouTube channel that is live with Queenie Greene's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because I am showcasing black-owned businesses. It's a free, I'm doing everything. They don't pay me. We give them a commercial. We showcase them because this is something that we need because Black Friday's coming up. Christmas is coming up. We need our black dollars to be put back into our black communities, our black-owned businesses. So I'm showcasing these black-owned businesses. If you don't know, well, you can go get some lotion that smells like Bath and Body Works. We got some black women out here that's got some Bath and Body Works going on. We got black women out here that's selling clothes. We got black women out here selling jewelry. We got black women out here selling every black men and women, food, places, everything. We have what everybody else has too, and I'm taking it upon myself to put that out there. But that being said, I was torn today. I literally was I had people honking behind me. I was in the middle of the street. And I didn't really know which way to go. Because I got to take care of my business, what feeds my family. But I drove past, I was driving down King Drive, and I came up, we were driving down Gates, and we were coming up to 79th Street. And we thought it was some type of really big issue going on, because when I tell you, it was literally about 6 vehicles, police vehicles, I mean cars and trucks, about 6 of them. So we're thinking it's an accident, it's some type of commotion going on. When we get closer, they had one black man standing on a gate, and it was about 12 officers surrounding him. And I told my cameraman, I was agitated, because I said, man, somebody needs to be recording that. Somebody needs to stand there, because if that brother make one false move, it's 16 shots. Wow. And that, I'm saying that to say, ladies, I'm not saying you got to get out there and fight, and no. But if you see things happen, we have to also stand up for our black men.
Yes,
because they need us just as much as we need them. So, ladies, we got to start standing up for each other.
Now, I'm grateful you brought that up, because it's a universal thing, okay? And I talked about it early on. It's just an everyday thing in the ghetto. That's the correct saying.
Yes.
Because a lot of things take place in Black Chicago and all over America, but we must unify. That's it right there. If we don't unify, we are going to continue to die. Black death has become a major hustle. That's one of my theories as an academic person. Yes. I feel that black death is a hustle. A lot of people are making millions of dollars off the bloodshed in Black Chicago, and I broke this down before. Let me break it down again.
Black and brown,
black and Latino. So let me just break it down. Everybody that's making the millions of dollars, as a matter of fact, the police department budget is around $1 billion, okay? Every year they say they need to work more overtime because of the shootings and the killings. But every year the shootings and the killings are not being reduced, all right? I talked about the number of homicides already. Last year, 454. This year already, we're a little bit over 450, and we're on pace to have 500 homicides. So with all the police overtime, so far they've added up like $67 million in overtime this year already, but we still have more homicides than last year already. You have organizations out here that write proposals, and they request millions of dollars from the federal government and foundations, and in all of their proposals, they state it was 450 murders this year, and they're going to reduce it by 30% the next year. They're using dead people's numbers to receive the money. That money should be going to those families.
Yes.
The money should be going to the shooting victims out here, because they are using dead people's numbers to justify receiving the millions of dollars out here. Whoa. People get mad at me when I talk about this, but black death and black and brown death is a hustle. So we need to stop playing games. We're speaking truth to power. This is the front line, and God has put it on my spirit to address this issue in a major way. We shut down Lakeshore Drive August of last year, and it was a major success. Nobody got arrested. It was a peaceful demonstration. I just want to put that out there. People told me, why are you going to shut down Lakeshore Drive? We have to bring these issues to the forefront. We have no other choice other than to make sure people understand what we're talking about here. So if you understand and agree with me, black death, black and brown death is a hustle, but mainly black death, because for many, many decades, in Chicago, the death rates in Black Chicago is outrageous, brothers and sisters. And I have to give credit to the Latino brothers and sisters in a certain way here, because the homicide rate is really it's been reduced, so to speak, in Latino Chicago. I'm talking about the Mexican American community and the Puerto Rican community. It's just in Black Chicago, we still have a high level of killings in Black Chicago. And every 3 hours, somebody gets shot in Chicago. So all these people are making big bucks off the bloodshed, yes. Sister Queenie. Yes. And so hopefully when I break my theory down, and I have a PowerPoint presentation on my theory. I'm not just talking. I've done all the research. I know all the people making the millions of dollars. I can spell it out for you. So pretty soon I plan to organize the Black Death is a Hustle speakers tour, so I can educate people all across the United States, so we can make serious changes in our community, expose the pimps, the poverty pimps. We have to expose the poverty pimps. Yes. And that's when then you'll be surprised. Most of the people hustling off of Black Death are not even black folks. All right? They're not even black folks. They hire black folks to do the work, but they're not black folks. They're making millions and millions of dollars. All right?
Yes.
Millions of dollars.
I was going to say that, and this is on a lighter more humorous note, if you've ever seen Blade or any of these different movies out here, when it comes to a certain group of people that are against another group of people, do y'all know they always have, like on Blade is like a vampire movie, one of my favorite movies. It's all three of them, you know. But if you watch that movie, and just with other movies when it comes to things like that, they always have regular humans that bring them other humans. That being said, do understand, our people are being paid to bring our people to them.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, so that's something that we all have to understand. We got to stop trading on each other. We got to put it back in each other. We have to support each other, and maybe we can make some type of change. But if we don't, it's not going to happen. And I don't know about everybody else, but I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like my sister got something against me. I'm tired of feeling like my brother gonna beat me, my brother gonna hit me, my brother gonna go do this on me. I'm tired of feeling like I can't get this place because my people are holding me back. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like that. We can definitely change it, but we gotta understand, nobody's going to change it. And one of the things that I want to speak about is, I know it's not going to happen. We say this, I think we probably say it every year. It's not going to happen. I know I would love for it to see it. But our people, you know, and that goes back to slavery days, you know, we picked cotton and rags. So when we did get chosen to go into the house and get that nice little bow with that maid suit, now we had a little pep in our step. And so we get like that now, and we still live that now. We like to look good and everything else, but I definitely think if at some point we totally boycott with our own boycott with our money, that is when the world is going to figure out, oh shoot. Okay, these people now, we are going to change, and it's going to take numbers. It's not going to just take me and T.O. and me, you, and Tyrone, and this one over here, and 2 people from this state, and 3 people from that state. It's going to take us, melanin people, in a whole to boycott at one time. Because guess what? Now, for some people that are confused about Black Friday, it ain't got nothing to do with black folks. Black Friday is called Black Friday because in the business and corporate world, when your numbers are in the black, you are going broke. You never want your numbers in the black when you're in corporate business. You want your numbers in the blue, because if they start to get to the red, that means you're going bad. When you hit black, you probably need to get you another name for your company. And that's why it's called Black Friday, because everything goes on sale, and all companies, they don't make the profits that they make during the year because of Black Friday. Not because of black folks, but because the numbers, their corporate numbers, their profit numbers are going into the black. Now, that being said, we know that the profit numbers are going into the black, and that's why they call it Black Friday. But I know these commercials, they definitely are appealing to my black folks, because when these commercials come, they talk. I watched on the news this morning how the news was instructing people how to maneuver with credit cards for Black Friday, which that means the news is trying to tell you how to go in more debt. Because credit card debt is some of the biggest debt in this world. And they are telling you how to go into more debt just to give these companies. These companies ain't going into the black. They going definitely into the blue, because you got people banging their doors down. And I just feel like if we as a whole if America decided on that one day, we ain't spending our money, them people gonna change some stuff up.
Oh, that's a game changer.
They gonna change some stuff up, because if we're not gonna spend our money and help build these companies, they're gonna have to change some stuff up. So we don't understand just how powerful we are and the power that we do have if we just elevate. I know for me, one thing that my mother, and I'll let you elaborate on this more. My mother always told me, you talked about how people think, everybody say I'm crazy. I'm a lunatic out. Queenie, I can't stand her. She's crazy. She a lunatic. She don't know how to talk to people. No, it's not that. When I tell you, my mama had to explain, break it down for me, because I'm just not that person that you can say that's yellow and leave it at that. If I think it don't quite look yellow, you have to explain that to me. You have to break it down to me. They couldn't get me with Santa Claus because we lived in an apartment. We ain't had no chimney. We ain't have no chimney. So you telling me this big fat white man is coming down this chimney to bring me my presents? We ain't got no chimney. So how he get in here? The tooth fairy gonna tell me the tooth fairy came through the window and put this too. But mama, we live in the hood. We keep the windows locked at night. So how the tooth fairy get in here to give me this $1?
Yes, indeed. Well, I have a good brother. So
that's gonna keep it real. And so that in my life, and now what I talk about and how I live my life, that's kind of why my mental is the way it is, because since a young girl, you can't just tell me things. So this world, these bureaucrats, you got to explain it. You got to show me.
We know our good soul brother, he's no longer with us. James Brown had a record called Santa Claus Comes Straight to the Ghetto.
Yes.
Santa Claus.
Come straight to the ghetto. You never heard that?
Right.
Oh, Pop, we got to hit it. We got to get that button. Yes.
Right, so now it's an honor to be here.
I know Santa Claus was my mom and my dad. I'm going to keep it real. They worked hard. After a point, it got to the point they say, you know what, I'm going to stop telling you. My kids need to know how hard I work to get them this stuff. They need to know. And so on that note, anything else, Tio?
No, I'm glad to be here. It's an honor to speak with you. I think I'm talked out now for the first time in a long time. Mouth getting kind of dry, but it's an honor to be on the Frontline radio show here today at Pop Radio Worldwide. I just want to make that clear. Spotify and iHeartRadio. Look up Tyrone Muhammad on YouTube. You can look up my man Pop Radio Worldwide on YouTube as well. iHeartRadio, Spotify once again. And I'm T.O. Mr. Ceasefire Hardeman. It's an honor to co-host tonight with the one and only Sister Queenie, a dynamic, intelligent, bright young lady, speaking truth to power. And look here, the uncompromised Sister Queenie. And thank you, my sister.
Thank you. Once again, I am definitely happy for being here. Happy. Definitely happy being here. We've got to give another shout out to our sponsors. That is 7 Star. That is the police app that is bridging the gap of what goes on when you get stopped by the police. Check that app out. iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium, Pop Radio Worldwide. Subscribe to the YouTube, everyone. You can subscribe to my YouTube. Thank you for giving me a little shout out with it. That's Live with Queenie Greene. Check out all the platforms. You can find me Facebook. You can find me everywhere. Hashtag Queenie Greene, hashtag WVLG. Make sure you come back here next Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. We are here with the issues that everybody is not going to talk about. This is the Frontline Radio Show, powered by Mr. Tyrone, ECCSC ex-cons for change, social-economical change in in our communities. Make sure you meet us here. We're not going to stop with these issues. We're not going to stop. Tonight, they didn't stop my live, so we got it going.
That's right.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come back.
Shopping, hard body in my city. I'm in your lobby. They can't stop it. Tenfold copy. Them hitters, they lurking, they killing, they rock a lot. You ain't this shit at all. Whipping up a pop, show you how to get it off. I don't really rock. I just get the brick across. Take you to the.
All right, thank you for tuning in to the Frontline Show, powered by ECCSC. Your host, Tyrone Muhammad, was out for the night. Myself, Queenie Greene, and Mr. T.O. Hardeman, we held the show down. Make sure you come back every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Check out the YouTube channels, Tyrone's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to Pop Radio Worldwide on YouTube. Check out all of our shows and check out all the shows that Pop Radio is offering you. This is powered by iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium, and ECCSC.
Well, it's an honor to be on the show with you today, and you're one of the greatest co-hosts that I've ever worked with as well. And I want everybody out there to support one another, speak positively about one another. And we're here today on Pop Radio Worldwide. Follow Pop Radio Worldwide on YouTube, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And I'm Tio, Mr. C. Spot Hardiman. Peace out, my brothers and sisters.
And make sure you check out that policing app coming out. We want to give a great shout out to our sponsor. That is 7-Star. You can check them out, www.svnstar.com. That's the policing app that's going to bridge that gap when you are pulled over. Make sure you come back with us next Tuesday.
Told me I wouldn't make it, no way I'd win. Try to fucking bury me, throw me back in. No way I ain't going, always going in. Never turning back, always watch my back. Jungle full of monkeys, but I'm a silver